This is a review of the Minecraft movie, from a casual viewer's perspective at least. I'm not going to be diving into the deeper meaning of the film or anything like that. There are more professional people who can give you that sort of answer. But I'm going to keep this review spoiler free and as no nonsense as I can possibly do. At this timestamp here on screen, I will be diving into more specifics that are spoilery, so keep that in mind. First, let me answer the question, is the film bad? And no, it's not bad. It's not perfect either. But I'll get more into those details later. It's just a fun movie. It's a Minecraft movie. So, to get the point across, I'm going to talk about three things. I'm going to talk about the visuals, I'm going to talk about the story, and I'm going to talk about the characters. So, firstly and foremost is the visuals. Like many of you, I was, of course, taken back by seeing the first trailer and seeing that it would be live action. And of course, like many others, it would have been nice to get an animated movie rather than what we have. But truth be told, the visuals, you get used to them really fast, honestly. And it doesn't take anything away from the film itself, really. I mean, yeah, the sheep is pretty ugly, the zombies are grotesque, and the spiders are ugh. But regardless of all that, it's Minecraft. It's not like foreign. Whenever you look at something, if you play the games and you look at something in the movie, you can tell what it is right away. That's a chest. That's a diamond block. That's a zombie. That's a skeleton. That's a villager. That's unfortunately a sheep with that face. And truth be told, I went to go see the film on IMAX on April 3rd. So I basically saw it as early as can get. So IMAX did help with giving the film a lot more color. I would have to watch it again in standard D, like in standard moviegoer D, high def, whatever. But it is colorful. It is very colorful, which is a good thing. The real world also has some color to it, but obviously not as much as the Minecraft world in the film does. So, yeah, although it is live action, that doesn't really hurt the film. It's Minecraft, and it feels like Minecraft too. When they released more and more trailers after the first one showing, like the lava chicken farmer and things like that, it's just Minecraft. It feels like something you would do in Minecraft, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I was really worried that they wouldn't do much Minecrafty stuff, keep it simple, but they did a good job. Yeah, mainly it's just the visuals are off, but you get used to them fast, and it doesn't hinder the film in any way. At least for me. It could be different for other people, but we'll see. So now I want to talk about the story itself. So to keep it simple, it's basically our four characters. I don't know the names of the actors on the top of my head. I'll put down their names on the screen right here. But essentially, our four main cast find themselves into the Minecraft world, and plot happens to where they're temporarily stuck and they need help to get out. And obviously, the Nether, as we saw in the trailer, is planning something, and so they get roped in and having to help with fixing that mess. So our hero Steve helps our four unlikely allies get through the adventure, and the plot is nothing special. It's something we've seen before, except they're doing it with Minecraft. All in all, it's fun. It's a plot to where they can keep the movie fun with what they're working with. Don't expect something deep or crazy, or too crazy, I should say. It's just, hey, we got a plot, we're in Minecraft, let's make what we can do. And, obviously being Minecraft, there are points in the film where you feel as if it's not Minecraft. And this only happens like maybe 2-3 times in the film. And it's fine. like I said, it happens very quickly. It doesn't take away much from the film at all, so it'll be fine there. Really, the plot is nothing too special to talk of. We've seen it before. Yeah, without getting into spoilers, it's a simple plot, but they make it work with Minecraft. So, but now I want to talk about the characters. So the actors, again, I don't know their names off the top of my head, apart from Jason Momoa and Jack Black. So I want to start with Jack Black. Jack Black is Steve. They could have possibly had someone else be casted for Steve if they're going to go for a Minecraft movie, you know. But knowing Jack Black, and he delivers. He has fun with his role, obviously, because if you're going to be Steve, Steve is not a definitive person in Minecraft. Steve is a player-controlled character in the Minecraft game, so Steve is going to be different in every world. Steve can be, you know, an honest hero saving the villagers. Steve can be a maniacal psychopath burning down, exploding everything. Steve is subjective. Steve is subjective. Oh, that's actually a point I want to make really quickly about the story. The humor is subjective. Jokes are going to land, jokes are not going to land. There was one devious joke in the film, though, that I I found myself laughing at, so they got me there. But anyway, the characters. Jack Black has fun as Steve, and really, that's all you need. You might like it, you might not like it. It's fun. Jason Momoa's character, same thing, kind of. His character arc is different. It honestly, to me, feels a little bit more like Jason's character. It feels like more like his film, like more than anything. I know, what's his name? I'm really butchering this. Jason's Momoa character, what type of character he is, the archetype of that character. You're going to love it at times, you're going to not like it at times. Same thing with Jack Black's. The other three, it's less of those scenarios. They're charming. They're charming. More so sometimes than the other two. But they make it work, at least in my eyes. Like I said, I'm not trying to dive too deep into the film, what they can improve upon, what they cannot improve upon. It's all going to be subjective. The humor, the characters, how you view the characters, things like that. So, the character arcs for the film, Steve is Steve, so I already mentioned that. Jason Momoa's character is kind of, when you see where they're going with the character, it kind of becomes obvious how it's going to go. Same thing with the other two actors. There's I forget their names. The two female actors. They feel like they weren't really. I feel like they weren't really used enough in the film. For one of them, as soon as when they're introduced in the film for the first time, you kind of figure out what their role is going to be, quote unquote role is going to be in the Minecraft film. In the Minecraft dimension, I should say. But again, they don't really dive too much into their characters. I feel like they were a little underutilized. But it's fine. Doesn't really matter in the end, sadly. It's, you know, that's kind of sad to say, but it is what it is. If they make a sequel, I hope that they use their characters more and have them do a little bit more. But that's that. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say in terms of, you know, keeping it casual and, you know, not spoiling. So, I am now gonna go more into details, like, that are spoilery. So, there are some memes in the film, and there's one scene where Jason Momoa's character is fighting against the piglins in the Midport village. Obviously, he's about to lose. They somehow were able to put in the meme where the guy goes, "Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something." They put that in, and it worked so well. It's like, yeah, if you're gonna execute it in any way, that's how I would do it. Also, in the final battle, when they crafted all the iron golems and had them face off against the piglins as they were coming through, the iron golems are probably my favorite thing about the film. Like, they don't have too much screen time, but when they are, they're like intimidating and they're just so cool looking. It's like, yeah, it made me love the iron golems a whole lot more in that sense. The village, the plot B that happens with, again, I don't know the actress's name. She has a whole thing going on where she's taking a villager on the date. That was... It was both cringe and humorous at the same time. And in the mid-credit scene, the villager starts talking. I'm all like, okay, whoa, wow. This is... Wow. And of course, there is an end credit scene, and that does help them potentially set up a sequel. They introduced the character, again, super spoiler here. I'm about to say it. They introduce Alex. They don't give us a face. I didn't pay attention to the credits to see who was playing Alex, but yeah, Alex made a cameo in the film. Oh, Herobrine is also technically in the film, not in the way that you would expect Herobrine to appear, but you can technically argue that it was Herobrine in the film. I thought the scene with the Enderman staring into his eyes was also pretty cool. There was just a lot of things that they made work in the film that were kind of nuanced, that are kind of nuanced in the games, you know. But that's really all I have to say about this film. Again, if you want a more in-depth, like, specific talk about the film itself, there are other channels who can do this way better than I can. I just wanted to throw out what I thought as a casual moviegoer. I saw the film April 3rd. Came out today, April 4th. So, should you go buy a ticket? I say yeah. It seems like one of those films you at least want to experience first on the big screen. So, there's that. So, thank you guys for listening in. And if you go watch the movie, I do hope you enjoy. It's a fun movie. And if you don't, you know, it's fine. It'll be fine. It's not the end of the world if it's not a good movie and if you don't like it, you know? All right, that's all I got to say. Take care.